Donald Trump has a long and, let's be honest, weird history with Greenland. Remember in 2019 when he wanted to buy it? He even cancelled a trip to Denmark when they told him Greenland wasn't for sale. Like a kid throwing a tantrum in a Lego store because they wouldn't sell him the display model. Fast forward to today, and Trump's at it again. He's been making noises about Greenland, the Panama Canal, and even Canada, because nothing says peace on earth like threatening to invade your neighbours. The man seems to think he can just annex territories like he's collecting properties in Monopoly. But the reality is, invading Greenland would be a colossal mistake. First off, Denmark, despite its size, isn't exactly defenceless. They're part of NATO, and while their military might not be a match for the US, they wouldn't be pushovers. But even if the US managed to pull off a swift military victory, the political and diplomatic fallout would be catastrophic. The international community would be outraged, allies would be alienated, and China and Russia, they'd be laughing their asses off as America, the supposed champion of democracy, turns into a global pariah. Let's be real. On paper, this isn't a fair fight. The US military is a behemoth. We're talking about a nearly $1 trillion annual budget, the most advanced weaponry on the planet, and enough firepower to make Tony Stark blush. Denmark, on the other hand, spends a fraction of that on defense. They've even donated some of their heavy equipment to Ukraine. But here's the thing about Greenland. It's a logistical nightmare. It's a massive, icy island with limited infrastructure and brutal weather conditions. Launching a full-scale invasion and occupation, that's a tall order, even for the US military. And let's not forget about Denmark's trump card international law. See, the US is obligated to Greenland, not attack it. That's right, there's a treaty. Invading Greenland would make the US look like a bunch of treaty-breaking hypocrites. Not exactly the best look for a country trying to maintain its global standing. Okay, let's say the US throws caution to the wind and invades anyway. What happens next? Well, militarily speaking, it's probably a short-lived affair. The US would likely secure air and naval superiority pretty quickly. Denmark, even with NATO's help, wouldn't stand a chance, but that's where the winning part ends. Because the minute US boots hit Greenlandic soil, the world would erupt. We're talking sanctions, condemnation from the UN, maybe even military intervention from other countries. Remember, this isn't just about Greenland, it's about the complete erosion of international law and order. And for what? What exactly does Trump hope to gain from this? Some untapped natural resources, bragging rights, because the costs far outweigh any potential benefits. The damage to America's reputation, the economic fallout, the potential for sparking a wider conflict, it's all just not worth it. Trump's Greenland shenanigans might seem like just another one of his bizarre antics, but it's a symptom of a much larger problem. The rise of nationalist, isolationist, and frankly dangerous rhetoric on the world stage. When leaders start thinking they can just redraw borders by force, it sets a terrifying precedent. This isn't just about the US and Greenland, it's about the future of international relations. Do we want to live in a world governed by might makes right, where treaties are meaningless and countries are free to bully their smaller neighbours? Because that's the path we're headed down. And it's a path that leads to instability, conflict, and ultimately to a much more dangerous world for everyone. So yeah, maybe it's time we all started taking Trump's Greenland obsession a little more seriously before it's too late.